Welcome back to the AAR. Today we're running a special after-action review on U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, who passed away on July 11, 2026, at age 71 after a brief and sudden illness. His death has triggered both a reflection on his long career and a fast-moving special election process in South Carolina. What was supposed to happen? Lindsey Graham built a reputation as a steady, hawkish conservative and institutional player. A former Air Force JAG officer, he was expected to serve as a reliable voice for strong national defense, support for Israel and allies, and bipartisan problem-solving in Washington. Elected to the House in 1994 and the Senate in 2002, he was supposed to be the McCain-style Republican who prioritized military strength and foreign policy engagement. What actually happened? Graham served more than 2 decades in the Senate as one of its most recognizable figures on defense and foreign policy. He was an early and vocal critic of Donald Trump in 2016, even running against him briefly in the Republican primaries. Over time, he became one of Trump's closest allies in Congress, a frequent golfing partner and advisor. He strongly backed aid to Ukraine, maintained close ties with Israel, and pushed tough stances on Iran and China. He won re-election multiple times and had just secured the Republican nomination again in June 2026 for what would have been a potential 5th term. Wikipedia, or what went well? Graham was consistent on national security. He championed support for Ukraine against Russian aggression, remained a reliable advocate for Israel, and pushed back against adversaries. Colleagues across the aisle often respected his work ethic and seriousness on defense matters. His military background gave him real credibility, and he played key roles in judicial confirmations and veterans issues. What went wrong/areas of criticism? Many saw his shift from Trump critic to staunch defender as a flip-flop for political survival. His interventionist foreign policy drew accusations of favoring endless wars or overly hawkish positions. In South Carolina and nationally, some conservatives viewed him as too tied to the old Washington establishment, especially on immigration where his past support for pathways to citizenship clashed with the party base. He faced primary challenges in recent cycles that highlighted these tensions. Lessons learned. Graham's career shows how Washington often rewards adaptability and relationships. He survived political shifts by aligning with new power centers while holding firm on core defense priorities. His sudden passing leaves a notable gap in the Senate's foreign policy voice, especially on Ukraine and Middle East issues. What happens next in South Carolina? Under South Carolina law, Governor Henry McMaster can immediately appoint a temporary replacement to serve until January 3, 2027, or until a special election fills the seat. Unlike some states, South Carolina does not require the appointee to be from the same party. KCRA.com because Graham had already won the Republican primary. His death triggers a special primary process. The filing period opens the second Tuesday after his death, around July 21, 2026. The special primary must be held by August 11, 2026. The runoff, if needed, follows 2 weeks later. The winner faces Democrat Dr. Annie Andrews in the November 3, 2026 general election. The winner of the November election will serve the remainder of Graham's term and the new full term. And Wikipedia.org overall verdict. Lindsey Graham was a larger-than-life fixture in American politics, a committed hawk, survivor, and institutional player who evolved with the times. Whether you agreed with him or not, he was rarely boring and stayed a consistent voice for American strength abroad. His death now forces South Carolina into a rapid special election sprint while the nation reflects on his legacy. That's the AAR on Lindsey Graham and the South Carolina Senate vacancy process. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think was his biggest impact? Who should the governor appoint as temporary replacement? Or who do you want to see run in the special primary? If you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell for more honest breakdowns of major news and political figures. Until next time, stay critical, and I'll see you in the next After Action review.